Do you realize how many people you're telling to wait for a marketplace that isn't here right now, hoping that it even might show up? That's like me saying, just wait, Matt, there will be a rainy day coming up here where you'll get to do the gutters and things like that. I hope. We might have an oddly dry spell here for a while, and that rain that just passed through, like, I should have taken advantage of that. I should have done what I needed, because who knows when that market's going to come? Who knows when it's going to come back?
Welcome back, everyone, to Life at 10 Tenths, where we inspire you to live at the pinnacle of your ability and purpose. And you know, Garrett, it's funny, getting started here, I've had more and more people ask me about the 10 tenths, people who are being introduced to us. And we talked about this on our intro episode, but I think it would make sense to just kind of circle back on, like, what is 10 tenths? Because people are like, that's an interesting name. I was on a panel, I guess it was last week, and people were like, where did 10 tenths come from? What is
Matt
that?
just called an audible. I was waiting for him to go like, and that's my co-host Garrett Fry, and he goes, hold on a second, let's throw the brakes on right now for a second. I think this is great. Keep going, man. Sorry to
it's
interrupt
not
you.
audible on the topic, but I just figured we'd circle back around on it. It's been over a year since we launched this thing, so I'm gonna toss it over to you to talk about what is 10 tenths.
Put me on the spot, man. That's awesome. Okay, so fun, man. I'm happy you're going back to this, because I get the conversations also, with the comments of like, where in the world did this come from and what does this all mean? And man, we did a lot when we first set out to create this, and I remember the banter back and forth of names and directions and like, what does this represent? What does this mean? And we would like go off on our own, and then we'd come back and send emails back and forth with just names and just stuff. And everything we were throwing back and forth, we were kind of like, you had those moments, Matt, we're like, like, oh, yeah.
There were a lot of really bad names that we threw around.
Oh, gosh. That could be it. And I went back to a terminology that popped up for me, which is, and it comes from racing, it comes from track days. And usually they don't usually announce it at like a racetrack, like a race day, because racing, when you're racing, you're going full blast. But a lot of times track days and things like that, when you go out to a track, they'll say, guys, here's the course conditions, and today we want you at 7 tenths. Or today you're best off starting this morning at 8 tenths. And when you talk about 10 tenths is all in. It is 100% all in, pushing that environment, pushing the tools that you have around you to the absolute highest potential that they can possibly be pushed to. And as we were researching names and thinking about it, I was like, oh my gosh, 10 tenths. Like what an awesome place to come at here, because this is what Matt and I try to get everybody to operate at, to get the most out of this world that's around them. And Matt, I'll never forget, I pitched it over to you through, I think it was a text.
Yeah.
And I woke up in the morning, because Matt and I live on opposite sides of the world, basically. Well, that's a little extreme, but opposite sides of the United States. And I threw it out there at 10 tenths, and you went back and said, what if we put life in front of it? And the more we started to kick that around, it was super fun, because then we started to go, because we are bigger than just business. We are your health and your fitness. And then you just started to expand on it, it just became where we stand today.
Yeah, which is awesome. I mean, and that's why we say at the beginning, we want to help you live at the pinnacle of your ability and purpose, because most people I know, they get into real estate because they have this dream of a better life. And that's what we want to help people achieve. And so that's what it's all about, which is going to kind of tie into what we're talking about today in terms of, well, at least we're going to make it tie in, which is like, what is a quote unquote healthy marketplace for real estate? Because Garrett, as the market's been shifting in a lot of different places, people are waiting. They're waiting for the better market. And there's perspective that we have to weigh in on this stuff too. And then there's also just like the realtors' emotions are coming in on this again of defining healthy marketplaces that maybe it doesn't need that definition, or that definition just doesn't make sense.
I find so many realtors, Matt, are waiting for the marketplace that doesn't exist right now.
Yeah.
They're waiting for it to turn into a little bit more of a buyer's market. They're waiting for it to turn into a little bit more of a seller's market. We're waiting for the interest rates to drop a little bit. We're waiting for all these things that's like, if we just had this, it'll be better. And I brought this up to you as a topic. I said, what is considered a healthy marketplace? And my definition for it is that, okay, so there are extreme sellers markets where the seller is a lot of times taking advantage of some of the buyers out there, or at least they're taking advantage of a situation that buyers are having to give up a lot of their power to be able to have a chance at this house, giving up inspections, giving up appraisals, giving up everything to be able to try to make this work. So you have that side over there. You also have this extreme buyer's market that we haven't seen it for a very long time, but they do exist out there, where you got these sellers that are just sitting there and they're waiting for an offer to come through. And the buyer comes in and goes, wonder how low we can get this thing for. Like, let's like throw an offer and see how excited they get. And then we'll just reel them in as we just scrape everything out of this we possibly can, because they don't want to let us go. We've got all the power here in our hands. And what I've been saying, and what started this off, is I said, we actually have what I consider to be a really healthy market right now. Nobody's taking advantage of anybody. And Matt, you answered back with, I would argue that any marketplace you're in is a healthy market. You just have to know what your parameters are and what you're dealing with, which all of a sudden I was like, you know what, you're right.
I think if you look at the market as an environment, it's kind of like saying, if we relate it like health to physical health or mental health even, it's like, well, a healthy environment for me personally looks like the temperature is, 78 degrees outside. It's sunny, maybe a little partly cloudy. I have good food in the kitchen and all this stuff. It's like all of those things are just like a perspective on the environment. Health is defined by like how you feel and other things, right? And so with a real estate marketplace, maybe this is a stretch in terms of a correlation, but whatever is going on with absorption rates, inventory, all of that stuff, it's just the environment. How we show up in the environment will define how healthy that marketplace is for us. And if you go in unprepared, or if you go in with a negative perspective, it's going to be a challenging marketplace for you. I mean,
I love that you took this to the weather, because let's go back to this for a second, because I had this perfect picture in my head, because we would all say maybe a little different in different areas depending on humidity and whatnot, but I'll take like California, Northern California, 80 degrees, blue sky, beautiful day, maybe 75. It's just one of these days that's just like, it's just great. Go out, hike, go do anything, kind of take advantage of all the great things that this place has to offer. But you can't do it all. You can't take advantage of it all, because we have a great ski mountain to the north of us. Well, that's not happening right now. At least at 75 degrees on a day like that, blue skies, middle of summer, ain't happening. And there's also lake sports that's like, it could be a little bit warmer. Like it could be a little bit warmer. 75 is great, but gosh, a nice 100-degree temperature day on the water, wakeboarding and stuff like that.
I don't know if nice 100-degree is
no something. Humidity. We don't have the humidity. So it's like on the water, 100 degrees, brilliant. So you start looking at like, well, what is this perfect situation? And okay, so here's the thing that popped into my mind. My mother and father-in-law's property has all kinds of drainage issues on it. It has gutters that are always clogged up because they've got big oak trees that hang over it. They've got underground, like through their driveways and stuff, like huge culverts and things that drain water in every different direction. And, it's interesting is that about once a year, my job is to clean out all these things to make sure the water's flowing in the right direction. 75-degree day with nothing going on, blue skies, things like that, is the absolute worst day to actually handle that and take care of it. The best day to take care of it is in a torrential downpour, when it's absolutely pouring. And there's a lot of people going, I don't want to go outside in this. I don't want to do this. That I'm staying indoors today. I'm not going to go do it. Where I wait for that day right around, going right around springtime to kind of go like, oh, here it is. And are you prepared for that marketplace that sits in front of you? And this is the analogy of bringing it back to the market. For me, I am prepared. I've got waterproof work boots that I can go into about a foot of water and my feet are going to be dry. I've got Gruns, if everybody knows Gruns, the orange, really heavy duty wet weather gear that you usually see on fishing boats. I've got a whole set of that. Like, I can go out there. They have neoprene cuffs around your hand. You can literally put your hand straight up in the air and water will not go down into your arm. Like, you stay totally dry. The gear is there. I can prepare myself for this situation, this weather that's in front of me, and I'm going, this is the perfect time to go out and go do this right now. And yeah, you're out there in torrential downpour and you're digging through muck and crap, but it's the right time to do it, because if the water's not flowing, I can't tell where things are clogged up. I can't tell. There's no way I can send enough water down that drain with a hose to go, oh, I can see where the problem is. I need a downpour. So I think that, Matt, that's the extreme. And in a marketplace where you've got these extremes happening, it's not that it's unhealthy or bad, or when can we have it back to this, or when can it go to this. It really goes back to what you said, is the healthy market's in front of you right now. Take the opportunity to look at it, because I'm watching agents right now tell their clients, we should wait for this market. We should wait for this. And they wonder why they're not putting deals together. They wonder why other people are closing transactions. And I'm like, do you realize how many people you're telling to wait for a marketplace that isn't here right now, hoping that it even might show up? That's like me saying, just wait, Matt, there will be a rainy day coming up here where you'll get to do the gutters and things like that. I hope. We might have an oddly dry spell here for a while, and that rain that just popped through, like, I should have taken advantage of that. I should have done what I needed, because who knows when that market's going to come? Who knows when it's going to come back? And that is really too bad, because you actually cause your buyers and sellers to sit on the sideline because they trust you and they're listening to you. And this might be their time. This might be the time to figure out.
Yeah, it could be. And it may not be. Who knows? This is why you got to have the conversations. And I'm going to add one more correlation here too, which is like the Olympics, right? The Olympics happen every 4 years, summer versus winter, and it's going to happen. You're either ready to compete in whatever weather is there, or you're not. If you don't go show up in that environment, you're going to miss the opportunity to win. And it's okay. Maybe if the weather's terrible, there isn't going to be a world record that's set, but somebody is going to get the gold medal. Somebody is going to win. And the question is do you want to win now in this marketplace, or do you want to try to find the ideal conditions to set a world record? And if you wait too long, what could potentially happen? You could miss out on something greater that you could have achieved just because you were so set on trying to just hit this one thing. Now, there's obviously a lot of other factors that go into sports and athletics than other opportunities and attempts and things. But when selling a house or buying a house, you don't get multiple attempts at the particular inventory that's available at any given time. You don't get multiple attempts at the particular buyers that are available at any given time. And you don't get multiple attempts at the particular lifestyle and timing that you're trying to achieve as a buyer and seller. And so as an agent and as an advisor, we need to just be having open conversation with our clients to understand what is the goal that they're looking to achieve, and how do we make the most of this current marketplace so that it is the healthiest marketplace for them.
I mentioned, because I love that you went down the Olympic side of this, because we've all watched the Olympics where it's the downhill skiing day, and they've got everything, they're getting everybody set up in the box up at the top, and the announcer will say the conditions are perfect for today for a world record. Like, the conditions are here. They're set. The snow is perfect. The temperatures are perfect. Everything is set right now for a world record to happen today. There's the other ones where they're like, the course is really icy today. It's really dangerous. This is the conditions are not optimal for the event today, but these guys are going to make it down. Visibility is really low. And you think about when you have a seller that's coming on, there are marketplaces. We just got out of one where you're talking with your seller going, okay, guys, world record conditions are set for today. Like, we're going to get 50 offers. They're going to be beating down the doors. We're going to get probably all going to be cash. I mean, really. And we're going to close in 1 week. World record opportunity sitting here right now. But I think you're right, Matt, is like sometimes the Olympics come, your game day comes, and it's like, it might be world record conditions. It might also be the crappiest conditions ever. But we still got to sit back and say, but we still are going to compete today because you need to go somewhere. You need to have a result out of this. I love that you took it down this route because I think it's really one of those, it's a way that you can have the conversation with your clients about what different marketplaces mean for them, because the marketplace for a seller where they're going to have a world record maybe day is not actually the market where the buyer is going to have a world record day. Like those are opposite marketplaces that you're dealing with, but people are still coming out to play. They're still coming out for game day. And I think that's what we need to understand.
Yeah. And I think you see a lot of agents stop short of like, because most agents will say, yes, I totally get it. A good market is going to be different for a buyer and seller. And you get the question of, well, how is the real estate market? It's like, well, you're looking to buy or sell, and I'll tell you what it is. But that's very, very shallow of what is it? Is it good or is it bad? It's, well, what are you trying to achieve? Because no one is really out there trying to just buy or sell a property. Even investors, they're not looking just to buy or sell. They're looking to achieve something. There is a goal on the other side of it. And if we can dig into that, then we can understand, okay, is this a easy marketplace potentially for us to go out and look to achieve that goal? Or is this going to be a challenging marketplace? Both can be healthy if we're able to achieve the goal that we want to achieve. Now, if we can't achieve the goal that we want to achieve, we probably do need to reevaluate and maybe say, hey, this is not the marketplace that we're going to enter in to try to go achieve that. And I don't know when that marketplace is going to be. So we're going to have to be comfortable with waiting. And that is happening to a lot of clients, and that's okay. Right?
Yeah.
It's totally okay. But you'll only know that if you have the conversations, Garrett, versus trying to just, say, yep, well, let's just wait for interest rates. It's not very healthy for buyers right now. And it's like, well, I don't know. Go down to Austin, Texas, seeming pretty healthy for buyers to me right now, even with interest rates high, because the inventory is climbing to levels they've never seen. Prices are starting to go down a little bit because that didn't happen in the recession for them. And, you might be in a good position as a buyer. The sellers, they are not happy. Right? They are struggling.
Well, and I think that's like, if you look back and staying on your analogy here, is that we're in a marketplace right now that I was saying healthy. Nobody's taking advantage of really anybody. And I know some people are like, oh, no, like we have 3 months of inventory and it's a strong buyer's market now. I'm like, no. It's because we've been at the pace we've been going at. So just understand that. But really right now, we don't have world record conditions for sellers. We don't have world record conditions for buyers right now. We have nice conditions. We are sitting at the nice 75-degree day, sun shining. It's there. You can do a lot of stuff. We have a lot of freedoms. You can't do it all. You're not going to go up snowboarding at the same time. You're maybe not going to go have whatever. It's not hot enough and it's not cold enough to do a lot of stuff, but you can do a lot. It's just a nice kind of time. It's nice and comfortable. It's kind of where we're sitting right now. And I think we need to understand that. It's not world record conditions on either side, but it's a good marketplace. And Matt, what I like where you took this way up front is that, which made me start to go like, we always seem to be waiting for the next market, waiting for the right place. And really what we need to do is say, no. What is the conditions that we're in right now? And how can we get ready to compete? Yeah. How can we get ready to get you to where you need to go right now? And which then goes back to every market that's in front of you is the right market for you. We just got to figure it out, especially if you got to go somewhere, which goes back to, do we have a seller and do we have a buyer?
Exactly. It all comes down to that. And the great news is that regardless of the market conditions, right? If you have somebody who's selling and buying, they're going to have similar conditions for either. So it's kind of a wash. If you have somebody who's just selling because they're exiting, they've probably been in it long enough that there's a good runway there. And maybe not, but hey, they're trying to achieve something else. And if you have somebody who's just a buyer getting into it, yeah, it seems tough, but they're about to get into one of the best things that they could ever have on their balance sheet, which is the asset of real estate. And yeah, they're going to take on a liability of a loan most likely too, which is not going to be the best, but that's going to go down hopefully as the principal payment, and that's going to go up over long periods of time. And they're also going to achieve the experience of whatever it is that they're looking to achieve, owning their own property, getting the things that they want. Like there's so many great benefits to transacting in any marketplace that if you understand that, great, we'll figure it out.
But you have to be a buyer and you have to be a seller. And this is what I think is interesting also, is a lot of times people are holding on to somebody going like, well, I think I have a buyer, I think I have a seller. And they're looking at the marketplace and they're going, well, right now is not the right time for you. Or the buyer and the seller going like, I don't think this is the right time for us, which this is anytime you have a seller and they're like, I don't need to sell, but we can put it on the market. I had this picture, going back to your skiing analogy, of this person that's like, okay, we got world record conditions out here right now. We're going to go attempt this mountain. And the poor person sitting there going like, but I'm not a skier. It's like, well, what are you doing on the mountain? Like, what are we doing? Well, we're like, just go. Just like I watch people hold on to a buyer or to a seller going like, I got to figure out how to get them to move forward in this marketplace. And like, you are trying to turn somebody into something that they're not right now. Like they're not at this moment in time ever going to want to go down that mountain on a set of skis. It ain't going to happen. And I think we need to look at that and go, who are we attracting in? Who are we holding on to? Because in any market condition, if you have somebody that is prepared to play the game, you got the great market for them. You just got to figure out how to do it. And, that seller or buyer, if they really, really, really need to buy somebody, job transfer coming in, hey, you know what? It's not the perfect market, but we're going to figure out how we're going to get you a home so your family's settled here. We're going to get this going. If you're a seller and you're underwater and all kinds of stuff is going on and we've got to get this home sold, it's bleeding our bank accounts dry as we're hanging on to this thing. It's not the perfect market right now, but we're going to figure out how to get you to go. It's your market. And maybe that's the way to look at it, Matt. It's not the perfect market, but this is your market right now. This is where you're at, and we're going to figure out how to make it work.
I love that. That's perfect. This is your market.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the tagline right there. This is your market. Let's make the most of it.
Yeah. Let's figure it out.
I love it, man. Well, that was fun.
Well, it's kind of a sporadic little episode there, but
yeah. Well, it is important. You brought it up. You said like, hey, there's a lot of these people that are out there looking for what is the right market, what's the healthy market, and we need to shift that perspective. And so you guys take this. If you're one of those people who's like, man, the market needs to improve, I'm waiting for this, I'm waiting for that, like, stop. This is your market too as an agent, right? You're not waiting for the perfect realtor market of 21 and everything's booming up and anybody can make money in that. It's like, no, this is your market. This is your time to thrive. So make the most of it.
Well, with that being said, Matt, thank you for kicking this topic around with me. And since Matt didn't do it up front, this is Matt Bonelli. My name's Garrett Fry. We're your co-hosts of Life at 10 Tenths, and we're grateful to be with you here today. If you want to check out more of what we have to offer, go check out our app. Go download that. If you want to support us, you can go check out YouTube. Click the subscribe button. Doesn't mean you have to pay for anything, but it lets the world know that there's something cool here that people should be paying attention to. We'd love comments and likes on anything that we have on there. It means the world to us. And in that app, as Matt said up front, I believe you talked about it up front, is that there are a lot of different ways to get value out of what we're offering here. The podcast is one. You can get to all the episodes through the app there. We have some other elements, strategic training sessions that we're going to be bringing in that's going to be offered for offices that you can share with your owners. You can share with your managers. You'll be able to find those inside the app. And as well as daily information that you can level up to if you'd like to. And then you can also join our 11 Circle, which is our group coaching, which we have an amazing group that we get together with once a week. We train, we share ideas, we bring special guests in. We'd love to have you in that world if you want to come check that out. And you're always welcome to reach out to Matt or myself if you have questions. If you're like, what in the world is this stuff they talk about all the time? Myself or Matt will give you a private tour of it if you're interested in it. We'll show you what it's all about so you can make a smart decision for you. with that being said, Matt, appreciate you, sir, tremendously. And let's keep it going, man.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, everybody.